he seems perturbed by this digital tax.
Well,
and raised
so.
the prospect, Secretary, of 100% tariff on wine and cheese coming from France. Is that a real possibility?
Well, remember, the context in which we're talking is we just won the WTO case of Airbus versus Boeing. That gives a great deal of latitude in terms of what the president can do. Europe has consistently not lived up to the WTO rules. They've consistently said they were and consistently not followed through. So we have a very legitimate complaint. They dragged this out for, 12, 13 years, but now it's the reckoning day. So he has flexibility to do tariffs.
Macron just said that the digital tax does not target the U.S. specifically. Do you disagree with that?
Oh, absolutely. When you set criteria that if you have so many sales internationally and so much sales in a given country, and there's only a handful of companies that meet those criteria, and by and large they're all American, hard to say that it wasn't designed as an anti-American thing.
And France isn't the only country that's considering a digital tax. You've got Italy looking to impose one.
Well, they're not the only country that's anti-American either.
Would view them as anti-American? What does that mean when you say that?
Well, they are anti-American in the sense that Europe doesn't have the real high-tech champions and the real e-commerce champions that we do. There's a tremendous amount of jealousy about that. I view this as having that as one of its roots, and the other, they're all running budget deficits. They're all looking for a way to tax someone other than their own voters. So there's that motive as well, because our companies don't get to vote in France. They don't get to vote in Germany.
No, but they're selling a lot of services, which is hard to it's not a product, so to speak, that we're accustomed to on a shelf. But that's the way, more and more of the world's commerce is about services.
Well, it is. And if what they said was everybody doing any of those industries from penny one paid the tax on every dollar, that would be one thing. But that's not. They've set very specific criteria, and the criteria, deliberately or not, essentially only include American companies.
So then if you start down this path of imposing tariffs on France as, retaliation for this digital tax, do you then see yourself imposing tariffs on the other countries, Italy, the UK, Turkey, that are considering a similar...
Well, remains to be seen. If they do the same thing, I would assume he would react the same way. But you certainly can impose tax on individual member states. That's plenty of precedent for that. You can't negotiate a trade agreement with individual member states. That has to be at the European Commission level. But you can, and we have. The Airbus retaliations are against the member countries individually. They're tailored to the individual countries. So there's nothing strange about that.